Niagara Region's Economic Development Team was honored with a prestigious 2024 Deal of the Year Impact Award, and we are going to get all the exciting details with George Spezza, Director of Economic Development for the region. George, good morning.
Morning.
And Gary Long, Director of Development and Government Relations for the City of Port Colborne. Gary, thanks for joining us.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
George, this award is for the work about the new battery plant, the investment project that's in Port Colborne. Can you explain what the project is?
Sure. The Asahi Kasei project is a $1.6 billion investment in our region. It's the largest foreign direct investment that our region has seen, and it is a battery separator facility that they will be building, about a 2 million square foot facility in the city of Port Colborne. What they manufacture is one of the most critical components of an ion battery, and it's the separator component of it. So what they're manufacturing, what they're going to be producing in that facility is one of the most critical components in a battery that separates the two sides of the battery, so there's no interconnection of it, and it's called the separator part of it, and that's what they're going to be manufacturing and distributing once they're completed all the construction.
Now, if we look at the picture back here, there's, 15, 20 people here, so it was quite the groundbreaking. This is a big project with a lot of economic spinoff, is that right?
It really is, and it's really a transformational project for the region. We're very proud of the project itself. It was 10 months of a lot of negotiation, back and forth visits from the company executives. But it is really going to be transformational for our region. It's going to provide a lot of jobs in the city of Port Colborne, but not just the city, but the entire region. So we're looking forward to the long-term benefits of this project moving forward.
Gary, is Port Colborne ready for this?
We're getting ready.
Okay.
We're getting ready. There's a couple of things that we're working on in partnership with the region and some other agencies. There's a lot of servicing infrastructure that needs to be installed so that Asahi Kasei is ready to open later in 2027. So it's still a project. It's a public works project, a servicing project. But as a city, we need to be ready. We need to make sure we've got housing. We need to make sure that we have the right shops and things like that. So those are conversations we're now having internally, but also with Asahi Kasei to say how can we best support you and your employees? What are they looking for in a community? We know that some will live in Port Colborne. We hope that they do, but others will live throughout Niagara region, and we're happy about that. So, are we ready? Well, almost, but it's at the top of our list of projects and priorities for the city.
Talk about the investment that this really is really doing for Port Colborne.
Well, it's to borrow George's term, it's a transformational investment. The city is investing a lot in the project in terms of servicing, in terms of tax incentive grants, along with Niagara region, along with the federal and provincial governments. So it's a major investment, but you want to talk about a return on investment. I mean, this is this is fantastic in terms of what this will do for our city, in terms of diversifying our economy, bringing more economic activity, bringing new families and residents to our city. It might create some other small businesses, maybe some indirect spin-offs for Port Colborne. So it's really, really positive for the city. It's a great investment for us, and we'll see the return on our investment in spades, just like all of the Niagara region will as well.
George, a lot of partners in this. I can count 2 or 3 MPs and two or three MPPs in the picture there. Talk about who's involved.
Yeah, so it really is. This award is we're happy to be recognized it, but it really is a team effort, right? It is a Team Niagara effort. A lot of great partners, not just with the city of Port Colborne. We've had a lot of political champions as well too, as part of this. Chair Bradley, Mayor Steele were great supporters of the project and political champions of it, and all of regional council. But certainly, our partners in the federal government, Invest in Canada, Invest Ontario, these are partners that we work with on a regular basis, and they were all part of this, right? This was a game changer for our region. It was a significant investment for Ontario and for Canada. Asahi Kasei a Japanese a multinational company that has businesses all over the world. And we're very proud of the fact that they've chosen Niagara and the city of Port Colborne. And all that work really doesn't happen without a lot of good effort from many partners. And I think it was one of the better collaborations I've ever seen in my career between city, region, provincial, federal government, and other partners, including the private sector, who had a major stake in this as well.
George and or Gary, they could have went anywhere in the country. Why Port Colborne?
Well, why Port Colborne? I think certainly their decision. When they were first looking, they were looking at all over the world, and then they narrowed it down to North America. They looked at Canada, and we started with discussions about Ontario and sites that would suit their purposes. And at the end of the day, the site, we had a matching site in Port Colborne that filled their requirements. And I think, as they would say to you, certainly, you have to develop a level of trust, a level of transparency, and being able to provide a lot of the information that they were asking for in a very timely manner. We put together a task force of over 35 people, which met on a weekly basis since the beginning of the lead coming to us. And all of that demonstrated, I think, to them that not only is Niagara region a border region with a lot of good infrastructure and ability to access the U.S. market, but within Canada as well, we also have, I think, the right people and the right mindset. And I think they developed a level of trust in providing all that information that ultimately they felt comfortable with making one of the largest investments that they've made outside of Japan.
Very quickly, Gary, when are we scheduled to have the front doors wide open?
Well, as Asahi Kasei executives tell George and I all the time, time is not our friend. So, but to your question, they plan to be operational, I believe, by the third quarter of 2027 with phase one. So that's what they're working towards, and that's what Niagara region and the city and other public and private sector agencies are focused on, is making sure that we meet and exceed their timelines so that they're ready to go third quarter 2027, phase one.
George and Gary, looking forward to the opening. Thank you for being here.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.